Hey everyone, I'm Jordan Dux, Senior Director of National Affairs on staff with the Nebraska Farm Bureau, and as we hit the summer, one of my favorite things to do is grill. We have a couple things that we want to show you in terms of grilling. Some steaks that we have here, we're smoking ribs, we have a whole variety of things to do for you here today. Nebraska is number 6 in the country of raising pork. Like ribs that you see in a restaurant, ribs that you see in barbecue competitions, like ribs that are cut really well. Some from the store are just excellent. These are St. Louis cut spare ribs. So St. Louis cuts mean that the way these ribs are, you have the entire rib cage, and these have been trimmed. They have feather bones and some of those things. When you hear about rib tips at a restaurant, rib tips are the feather bone parts of the ribs that have some meat and some fat on them. All of that has been trimmed off where you just have a nice thin piece of rib. All that stuff is taken off. So these are different. These are what are called baby back ribs or loin ribs. These come right off the pork loin. These are a little leaner. You don't see these at barbecue restaurants nearly as much because they're a little more expensive. The meat quality is probably a little higher. Again, it just kind of depends on your preference. You can use both, either baby back or spare ribs. It really doesn't matter one way or the other. And I get questions a lot, my ribs were pretty chewy. Why are my ribs chewy? Well, the simple fact is you just didn't cook them long enough. Ribs and briskets, and frankly roasts, of any kind that you smoke or even use in a crock pot, any of that type of stuff, they need to be cooked to an internal temperature of over 200 degrees. So these are drum smokers. You put charcoal in the bottom, and then you put the lid on to regulate temperature. You still need, I like to use wood to get a little bit of smoke flavor to it. This is oak. Oak's a pretty mild wood to use, but just throw a couple, you don't need to overdo it. Just throw some chunks on there, and you just put it right on there, and that will add some smoky flavor to it. When it comes to wrapping ribs, or you're doing any cooking, the old French word or phrase, whatever the world is, the mise en place thing. You want to try to get everything set to where you don't have to go looking in a cabinet for something. You don't want to try to, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. You want to try to have it all done. So I'm going to bring my ribs in from the smoker. I'm going to try to have as many sheets of foil as I need with a couple extra. But for these ribs today, they've been in the smoke for a couple hours. That's plenty. And we're going to pull these off, and we were going to get these wrapped up in some foil. A lot of people will like sweeter ribs, and that's perfectly fine. I tend to like mine a little more savory, so not with any sugar in the rub. I like to have mine with kind of just salt and pepper, to be frank. But you be you and decide what you want to do. But when you want, a lot of people like sweet ribs, so we're going to wrap these up. They have a sweeter rub on them, and we are going to wrap these up in a pretty sweet mixture. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down, for these sweeter ribs, we're going to put down a layer of brown sugar. We're going to go, doesn't need to be super thick, but that'll all melt. Brown sugar and honey. And a little bit of butter. And you can put some on the other side. I'm not today. So what you want to do is when they're done, when you know they're done, again, if you want them really fall off the bone, we can do that. If you want them more so where there's a little bit of bite to them, that's kind of where these are. You just want to check your temperature. The best thing to use is a toothpick or something sharp and just poke at them, and if there's no resistance, that's when you know they're done. But you want to cut them per bone, and typically what you want to do is when they hit the done temperature, and if you like to add sauce to your ribs, it's always good to tack some sauce on there, which would be to grab some barbecue sauce, some warm barbecue sauce, spread it on, and let that, open it up out of the foil, put the barbecue sauce on, and just let it sit and let that barbecue sauce tack up a little bit. I am not doing that today, but that's typically what you want to do. These are going to have a little chew to them, probably, maybe a little. Not bad, but a little. Thanks so much for watching this video. Have a great summer. Enjoy grilling season. I think overall there's a lot of resources out there. If you want to learn how to grill meat better, if you want to learn how to smoke meat, there's a lot of things you can do. Pork, beef, chicken, lamb, whatever protein you like to enjoy. It's going to be a wonderful summer. Enjoy meat protein. Have a great summer. Thanks for being a member of Nebraska Farm Bureau. Or if you want to be a member, go to our website, www.nefb.org. Okay.